everything to her gets broken in time before it's too late. She's gonna change her fate. They say, oh they say, she shouldn't stick around, but she says so he did. Are you will not let me down, down, down in a senseless life? 'Cause baby, it's not worth my time. Makes no sense, her hesitance to see.
That is the sound and the video of Rai Hana performing With My Time. And we definitely are with your time this morning. We want to welcome her to the morning show. She is one of the spotlight artists from Music TT Spotlight, the Spotlight Project.
Project Spotlight.
Project Spotlight.
It was called many different things over the years.
It's the third
Project
one.
Spotlight.
Exactly. It's the third one, and the important part is that you made it through.
I did.
How was the experience for
Well,
you?
my experience is a little bit different than this cohort's experience, seeing as I joined the Music TT group back in 2019. So back then, they called it the ADPD program. Hope I said that right, too. But the name, as you can tell, continued to change. It was the Artist Portfolio Development Program back then.
Right.
And it has since just turned into Project Spotlight.
Right.
And when I joined in 2019, it was such an amazing experience. It opened so many doors. It was the first time I was a part of something as a group here in Trinidad and Tobago. And from the year after mine, they started to create an album with all of the artists, and we missed out.
Well,
So-
I will get back to that album creation because I realized you created a whole other album. But before we get there, I want to go back to something. You said it's the first time in Trinidad and Tobago taking part of a group, and I know people listening would hear a bit of an accent in your voice when you're speaking. So I just wanted to clarify that you were born in America.
Yes, well, I am from Florida. I was born in Homestead. I lived there for about, I'd say about comfortably 12 years.
Okay.
And then I've been back and forth between Trinidad and the U.S. ever since. So I always say I'm a Floridadian. Mic drop.
I was not prepared. I was not prepared for that one. How come Trinidad and Tobago? Your parents are from here?
My parents are from here, yes.
Okay. And I mean, I guess that would influence as well the style of music that you do.
No.
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 What influences
Sadly
the
not.
style of music that you do?
I was always into punk rock and alternative and pop. So after moving to Trinidad, I had a lot of teenage angst, as I think
As
anyone,
most
as
teenagers
most
do.
teens do. And Green Day was around at that time. I talk about Green Day in every interview at this point, you know. Hit me up, Green Day. But I really got into their music, and I loved the freedom with which they would sing and perform, and it inspired me to.
Did you ever see any comparative local artists like to that? Like, I mean, even rock artists, you know, the Orange Skies and the Instant
I always
Coins.
loved Skidnavelli.
Skidnavelli.
Skidnavelli was a favorite of mine just because they were in that punk realm. But then I also really loved alternative as well, and Trinidad has many great alternative acts.
Definitely. All right, I want to get into the album now because, I mean, you said you weren't able to be a part of that when they changed to the Project Spotlight and they did the albums to the artists. You weren't a part of that. You came in right before that and you had your time. But you did your own album.
Yes, I did.
As a Trinbagonian, well, a Floridadian.
Well, representative of Trinidad and Tobago as well.
But in terms of being the local alternative female lead on our album, I'm not sure that we've had any of those before. I could be wrong.
I think we've had a lot of females in bands, but I can happily say that I was the first female solo alternative artist to release an EP in Trinidad and Tobago.
And how was it received?
Well, unfortunately, it was released during the pandemic, which was not the plan. It was supposed to come out, I think, early 2020, and then that's when we went into lockdown. Everything changed. And so it was well received by those who were waiting to receive it.
Okay.
But as far as getting it out into the world, I didn't get to do that. in the way that I had wished that I did.
Do you have plans to re-release it, or you're just going to move on to the next album?
I'm always about moving on, but there are some songs that I really hold on to from
Yeah.
that album. It's called Alive, for those who are interested.
So tell me about why you rejoined the Music TT Spotlight series.
Well, the kind folks of Music TT called me, and they said, you know, they were looking toward bringing back an artist who is currently producing music, and I'm one of those artists. And Mariella, who's a part of the Music TT team, love you, Mariella. She said, you know, who has a treasure trove of songs? And she thought of me, and it's true because I've written countless songs over the years, and this song in particular that I presented for this album was one that I had written many years ago, was about something that is now so irrelevant to my life.
It's not even worth your time.
It's not even worth my time. Exactly. Exactly.
How was the experience? I know you guys were produced by an Australian music producer.
Yes.
How was that experience for you?
Well, I never got to liaise with him personally, but hearing the album, you can see and hear the level of quality that was put into this album and professionalism.
Tell me how that works in terms of you being the artist with the song and not liaising with the producer.
So this was a very different experience for me this time around, just because I'm so accustomed to being in that every moment process. If you listen to my album Alive, everything is overseen by me, and I make sure everything sounds a certain way, work with certain people, make sure that certain checks are marked and whatnot. And in this, it was like going in blind, not knowing what to expect, putting my trust. And I think it was a trust exercise because we also worked with Daryl Gervais, who was the producer and co-writer on this song. I've never put out a song that I've co-written with someone before. So that was a little nerve-wracking, and I went to him sheepishly, not knowing what the experience was going to be like, and he did a wonderful job complimenting my song. But of course, we had to share a little gossip and talking about what I'm going through, what is inspiring this in my life.
It has to have meaning, right?
Of course, just so he can have an idea of how can he accompany this, how can he complement this lyrically. And then JC just did a wonderful job with his team as well.
All right, fantastic. I think we can get into the song.
Of course,
You're ready to give me a little something?
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
This morning. I wanted to know if there were any challenges first, before we get into the music, any challenges that you would have faced during this process. I mean, obviously, the working remotely and not engaging with the producer directly would have been a minor challenge, but clearly, I mean, we are happy with the outcome of the song.
For
but
sure.
What were some of the challenges that you think you would have bounced up?
I don't think I faced any. Music TT is such a well-oiled machine at this point. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. I know behind the scenes, so much happens. Everybody has scheduling conflicts. That's a part of the virtual aspect of recording as well. Not everyone is in the same room at the same time. And I remember when I was in the studio recording the song that Daryl Gervais was not here. He was remotely liaising with us from somewhere in the U.S.
Somewhere in the US.
It was different in that aspect.
All right. Well, I think it's time we get into the song. We're going to do the With My Time, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, before we do that, I want to encourage each and every one of you to go out there and make a difference today now, because together we aspire. And if together we perspire, then together we definitely can achieve. On behalf of Kimberly Souza, I anchor Will. I'm Marcus, wishing you a fantastic weekend. From all of us here at TTT, the entire team, we say have a great weekend. Rai Hana, it takes us to the top of the hour. This one is called With My Time.
She is a waterfall flowing through the darkness in her life, built like the Berlin Wall. Everything to her gets broken in time before it's too late. She's gonna change her fate. They say, oh they say, she shouldn't stick around, but she says so he did. Oh, you will not let me down, down in a senseless light. 'Cause baby, it's not worth my time. Makes no sense, her hesitance to escape, twisting the knife in her back while they smile to her face. Watch her walk away. Oh, say, they say, oh, they say she shouldn't stick around, but she said so he did. Are you will not let me down, down, down in a senseless flight? 'Cause baby, it's not worth my time. She laughs about their comments, so they're on her own. Keep her peace of mind. Seasons come and seasons go. They go. Sucks that it came to that. 'Cause baby, there's no looking back. They say, oh, they say she shouldn't stick around, but she said so he did. Are you will not let me down, down, down in a senseless flight? 'Cause baby, it's not worth my time.